Okay, guys, I'm helping a friend out here. Um, this is a 1967 suicide door, four-door convertible Lincoln Continental. I think all the trims on it. Um, the bumpers really aren't in too bad a shape. The grill's not in too bad a shape. You can see it's missing a couple of the front emblems or front, letters. Other than that, I believe all the trim, like I said, is on it. All the glass is in it. The windshield is obviously no good. You'll see has a hole in it. I'm going to say right now, before we get too far into it, the car does not have a title, but I do have paperwork through the state of Missouri that they've run the VIN. It is not stolen. It's a little bit of a process to. There's a couple different directions to go for the titles. A lot of you guys who are real car guys know that there's several different directions, but it does not have a title. So if you're not interested, turn it off now. No title, and 5,500 is what he needs for it. But we do have proof from the state of Missouri that it's not stolen. So anyways, it does have the original motor in it. It does crank. I did get it. It's not locked up. I did get it cranking. They say it drove to where it was parked at, and that's very believable just because the top was partially up, and there you go. There you go. Anyways, the motor looks to be, the engine compartment looks to be all original. And like I said, I can show somebody that it cranks. I did not dump gas in it to try to fire it yet, because I wasn't really that concerned about that part. You can see it needs a windshield. The stainless around the windshield is actually in pretty good shape. Most of the trim on the car is in pretty decent shape and usable. Looks like the car's been worked once before back in the day. But like I said, everything seems to be intact. But this was partially up when it got here. So I took that piece off and unhooked the shocks so I could close it. So we could haul it better, or if somebody else comes to get it, to haul it. It does roll. Like I said, I have not put power to all the windows yet because it's been sitting for a long time. Like I said, I did get it to crank, and then I did a little bit to make sure it wasn't locked up. I do have the original wheels for the car. Do not. The hubcaps are actually, the tires are junk, but I do have the original wheels and hubcaps that came off the car. They're in the trunk also, and the wheels are up in the shop. So 1967 Lincoln convertible. It does have, some rust underneath it. It needs some floor pan work. It needs a fair amount of work, but it is a pretty rare car, and it's kind of cool. And really, it would be a cool candidate for a chassis swap. I don't know if anybody's ever looked into chassis swapping one of these, but it'd be cool to just put that body on another late model chassis. But the original motor and transmission, everything is there. So $5,500. It does not have a title. It is not stolen. We have proof of that, like I said, from the state of Missouri. 67 Lincoln. And if you need a parts car, you got a ton of stuff here. Because like I said, I think the bumpers are more than usable for a driver quality car, and absolutely rechromable if you wanted to restore one super nice. Like I said, the grill's in good shape. There's probably some hard to find parts on it, but anyways, there you go. $5,500, no title, 67 Lincoln Projector parts car. The motor, like I said, I can prove it is not locked up. Not going to mess with it today outside. We're doing some stuff inside. Had to shove it out. I'll drag it back in there if it doesn't sell, and I'll shoot a video of it cranking, but kind of irrelevant because depending on what direction you want to go. It does need floor work all the way across. So, a car needs a fair amount of work, but could be kind of a cool car.